What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. And today I'm gonna be doing an audiobook of the book called Rules. Okay, this video is made for all the people in my class at school, and please listen up if you really want to get a shortcut. Chapter 1: Follow the Rules. Come on, David. I let go of his sleeve, afraid I'll rip it. When he was little, I could pull my brother behind me if he didn't want to do something. But now David's 8 and too strong to be pulled. Opening the front door, I sigh. My first day on summer vacation is nothing like I dreamed. I had imagined today warm, with seagulls winging across the blue sky, not overcast and damp. Still, I refused to grab my jacket from the peg inside of the front door. Umbrella? David asked afar off, staring his brown eyes. It's not raining. Come on, Mom. Come on. Mom said go to the car. David doesn't move. I get his favorite red umbrella. Okay, let's go. I step onto the front porch and slide the umbrella into my backpack with my sketchbook and colored pencils. Let's go to the video store, David says, not moving in 1 inch. You're going to the clinic. But if you do a good job, Dad'll take you to the video store when he comes home. The video store is David's favorite place, better than the circus, the fair, or even the beach. Dad always invites me to come too, but I say no thanks. David. David has to watch all the previews on the store TVs and walk down each row of the video, flipping boxes over to read the parental advisory and the rating, even on videos that would never let him rent. David will say loud enough for the whole store to hear, rated PG-13 for language and some violence, crude humor. He'll keep reaching for boxes and flipping them over, not even seeing the looks people give us. But the hardest part is when David kneels when David kneels in the aisle to see the back of a video box a complete stranger is holding in his hand. Dad says, "No one cares, Catherine. Don't be so sensitive." But he's wrong. People do care. Beside me, David checks his watch. "I'll pick you up at 5 o'clock." Well, maybe 5 o'clock. I say, "Sometimes Dad's late." David shrieks, "5 o'clock? Shh!" I scan the yards around us to see if anyone heard, and my stomach flips. A moving van is parked in the front of the house, next door, back wide open, half full of chairs and boxes. From inside the truck, two men appear carrying a couch between them. My hands tremble, trying to zip my backpack. "Come on, David. Mom says go to the car." David stands with his sneakers, toes on the top step, like it's a diving board, and he's choosing whether to jump. 5 o'clock, he says. The right answer would be maybe, but David only wants surefire answers like yes and no. And Wednesday at 2 o'clock, but never maybe, or it depends, or worst of all, I don't know. Next door, the movers set the couch on the driveway. If I hurry, I can ask them before they head into the house. Okay, I say. David will pick you up at 5 o'clock. That's the rule. David leaps down the steps just as the moving men climb into the van. He might not understand some things, but David loves rules. I know I'm setting up a problem for later because Dad's always late, but I have rules too, and one of mine, and but I have rules too, and one of mine is sometimes you gotta work with what you've got. I take David's elbow to hurry him. Let's go past the fence and talk to those men. A little spring mud remains under the pine trees near the fence. Only a month ago puddles were everywhere when Mrs. Bowman called me over to say her house had been sold to a woman with a 12-year-old daughter. I knew you'd be pleased, she said. I told the realtor I have a girl that age living next door, and maybe they can be friends. A few weeks later, I had stood on my porch waving at Mrs. Bowman's son drove her away to her new apartment attached to his house. It feels wrong that Mrs. Bowman's not living in this gray shingled house next door anymore, and her porch looks empty without her rocking chair. But I'm tingling with hopes too. I've always wanted a friend in my neighborhood, and a next door friend would be best of all. Usually in summer, I do lots of things by myself because my best friend Melissa spends her whole vacation in California with her dad. This year, this year will be different though. The girl next door and I can do all my favorite summer things together. Swimming at the pond, watching TV and riding bikes. We could even send midnight messages from our windows using flashlights and Morse code, like next door friends do in books. And the best part, David won't have to come since Mom won't have to drive me and pick me up. I bite my teeth together, fighting the memory of my last sleepover at Melissa's. When Mom came to pick me up, David raced around Melissa's kitchen, opening doors, looking for their cellar, even when Mom kept telling this was a trailer and trailers don't have cellars. Real friends understand. Mom had said on the ride home, but here's what I understand. Sometimes everyone gets invited except us, and it's because of David. Walking toward the van, I study the moving men. One has a blotchy face and looks all business. The younger one wears a half smile and a dirty t-shirt and jeans. T-shirt man seems friendlier. Remember the rule, I whisper, my hands pushing David's back to hurry him. If someone says hi, you say hi back. Down the walkway, I run through conversations possibilities, conversation possibilities in my head, but that one rule should be enough. There's only one question I need to ask. Then I can take David. Then I can take David right. Then I can take David right to the car. Hi, I call, reaching the corner of the fence. David flickers his fingers and up and down like he's playing a piano in the air. T-shirt man turns around. Do you know when the family's coming? I ask. Is it today? He looks to the other man in the van. When are the Petersons coming? If someone says hi, you say hi back. David yells, "That's the rule." Both men stare past me with that familiar look. The wrinkled forehead look that means, what's wrong with this kid? I grab David's hands to stop his fingers. They're coming about 5 o'clock, the red-faced man says. That's what that's what she said. 5 o'clock. David twists under my arm. My wrist kills from being curled backwards. I grip my toes in my sneakers to hide the pain. Thanks. I pretend I can see my watch. Wow, look at the time. Sorry, gotta go. Chasing David to the car, I hear heavy footsteps on the van's metal ramp behind the trunk. David covers his ears with his hands. It's 5 o'clock. Let's go to the video store. My own hands squeeze to fists. Sometimes I wish someone would invent a pill so David wake up one morning without autism, like like someone waking from a long coma, and he'd say, "Geez, Catherine, where have I been?" And he'd be a regular brother like Melissa has, a brother who'd give back as much as he took, who could joke with, even fight or someone fight with. Someone I could yell at, and he'd yell back, and we'd keep going and going until we'd both yell ourselves out. But there's no pill, and our quarrels fray instead of not always ending him in a crying and me sorry for hurting him over something he can't help. Here's another rule. I open the car door. If you want to get away from someone, you can check your watch and say, "Sorry, gotta go." It doesn't always work, but sometimes it does. "Sorry, gotta go," David asks, climbing into the car. "That's right. I'll I'll add it to your rules." The men carry a mattress still in plastic up in the walkway next door. Someday soon I'm going to take a plate of cookies up those steps and write in the doorbell. And if the girl next door doesn't have a flashlight, I'll buy her one that turns on and off easily. Mom says I have to deal with what is Mom says I have to deal with what is and not to get my hopes up, but how else can hopes go more up? Mom says I have to deal with what is and not get my hopes up. But how else can I go up more but up? Wear your seatbelt in the car, David states. That's the rule. You're right. I click the seatbelt across me and open the sketchbook to the back pages. That's where I keep all the rules I'm teaching David. So if my someday he'll wake up a regular brother, wish he doesn't wish he doesn't ever come true, at least he'll know how the world works, and I won't have to keep explaining things. Some of the rules in the collection are easy and always say "excuse me" after you burp. Don't stand in front of the TV when other people are watching it. Flush. Flush the toilet. If you say something over and over, maybe they'll give in to shut you up. You're going to OT. I say maybe. Maybe is it all it takes? Is all it takes. David twists towards me as far as his seat belt allows, his eyes flashing. I cover David's mouth with my hands so the movers don't hear him scream. So, those were the first 12 pages of the book named Rules. If you want to purchase it, you can buy it. And yeah, it's a pretty cool book. It's got a few words, and some of the words weren't that fluid. But yeah, stay tuned for the next video. Goodbye. Wait a second. I'll just have to open. And